Hometown TV. Today we have with us leading Indian pediatrician Dr. Uday Pai. First question to you, Doctor, would be, in India, parents, they rely a lot on, baby care myths, like you should put kajal in a newborn's eye, you should give honey to a newborn. How much of them are, actually true?
Like we said, tradition in India is always the main crux of all whatever is required to be done. And at home, and especially in multicultural families, there are two sets of grandmothers, there are neighbors, there are friends, and there are a lot of people who keep telling what is to be done and what is not to be done. If you look at the whole scenario, if you look at these traditions, if you look at this, in the last maybe decade or so, pediatricians have now started basically trying to address each of them. There was a time when we would never probably address them, and now we are looking at actually trying to address them.
Okay.
So we have seen that kajal is made from charcoal. Charcoal is bad for the eyes. So we know that the way it is made is not hygienic enough to be applied. So we are now trying to actually start educating the parents what is good and what is bad. With time, yes, we may have not achieved a full 100% result in the whole thing. We would probably have achieved maybe 20 or 30%. But with time, I think people will realize and say, we don't want to do such things in future. Myths have to be cleared. And as pediatricians, we always feel the main word is EAN, educate, create an awareness and network. I teach you, you teach somebody, my work is done. That is the main part of trying to see that whatever I want to achieve may take 5 years, but if I begin today, it will go up, it will happen.
Doctor, you've been practicing for so many years now, so what is the difference that you see, raising kids now and raising kids, maybe some years back?
Oh, that's an excellent question. I was at a dinner meeting the other day, and one of my senior colleagues himself said, I was the seventh kid. So he said, okay, we were 5 of us, 6 of us, 7 of us. And the way children were brought up in the past was the 6th will take care of the 7th, the 5th will take care of the 6th. In today's scenario, like I mentioned very clearly today, today's scenario is more maybe whether the mother or the father, both of them are career oriented. One, I mean, what marriages used to happen between 21 and 25 in the past now happen maybe 28 to 32. So you tend to become more and more specific in trying to understand, okay, it's either a 1-kid family or a 2-kid family, depending on the economic scenario. So with all that in mind, the things are becoming a little more, what I want to do for my child is specific, and what I want to be is more scientific and maybe well based with understanding that it's good for my baby's health. That is where we are today.
Okay. For mothers, especially new mothers, there's so many advice that they get. What are some parenting no-nos that you would say that they shouldn't be doing at all?
Oh, I mean, the list becomes bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger every day. Previously we used to say, okay, like you said, no kajal. Then putting of oil in the nose and the ear. It was a highly formed tradition. Third, giving honey immediately after birth. That we have discontinued. I mean, giving water in the first 3 months. Nowadays, even 6 months, we say exclusive breast milk is most important. So we'll have put a lot of emphasis on those few things. Now, with maybe the scenario changing, the new thing is no mobiles for children, no iPads for children, less video or TV time. So things are changing because each of them has probably given rise to newer things which probably we don't want the child to be exposed to at a very early age. And of course, we don't know whether it's associated with problems or newer problems which are getting developed, like maybe ADHD, autism, or because of these. We don't know. But when we are in that particular suspicious role, we say these are not good for the child. And we try to make them aware of things like that. The other thing which we are now also trying to understand is we should be very careful of what we speak in front of the child or what the child is exposed to, because the children picks up very fast. And with nuclear families, you tend to get into arguments easily, and automatically those are things which the children pick up very fast. So we start telling parents that certain things should not be discussed in front of children, and that makes a very huge impact on the child's well-being and growth.
There is also a lot of dependency on medicine, especially, because we are a parenting website. We have so many moms on our different Facebook groups, on our WhatsApp, group who said, okay, my baby ko colic ho gaya, so should I give colic A? I'm giving these drops for a blocked nose. So is this dependency on medicines really good for the baby? Or?
I'm glad you said that the mothers on your blog are dependent on medicine, whereas we are in a different scenario altogether. Doctors try to say no medicines. In fact, as pediatricians in the last 2 years, we have started, even going to the extent of raising a AAA club, which is avoid antibiotic abuse. Because we used to find parents that last time some child had a cold, she would give the same medicine before coming to the doctor. So we have got into a situation where now we say don't give medicines. All children, all conditions do not need medicines. So I'm glad you said that blog is doing that, not doctors. So I'm good. I'm good. I'm safe.
Also, because everybody, like, we are becoming cleanliness freaks. We say no to germs and don't let your child play in the mud. There's so much effort made by the parent to keep the child mud free and germ free. Do you think a little bit of mud and a little bit of germs is good for the child?
Compulsory for the child. In fact, the other day I was speaking at an international IB school, an international school, board school. And I walked into the classroom, it was air conditioned. I walked into the auditorium, it was air conditioned. So I said, is this child ever going to be immune? If it doesn't play in the natural environment, what is going to be his exposure? And then I also told the parents, very simple, please understand, you are going to be in this closed classroom, maybe an air conditioned classroom. Okay. If one child sneezes, everybody is going to catch it, because it's going to be a closed room. The germ is going to circulate there, and there's no way the child is going to be immune. Okay. So from our side, of course, the scenario of the growth of children today is they are more visually active and less physically active. So considering that, we say physically activity is the most important for health. Okay. And you talk to a doctor and go to a cardiologist, he'll say you have to walk minimum 45 minutes, and you tell your child not to play in mud. Okay. Sounds absolutely contradictory to yourself, and you're not going to achieve anything with that.
Last question, doctor, to you is, being a leading pediatrician, what is that one secret, of raising healthy, confident, disease-free children?
Oh, I mean, absolutely. There are only three simple mottos that you need to. Child should be as active as possible. Okay. And from our side, we are very clear now, weight is not the criteria for health. It doesn't mean that somebody who's 40 is going to be healthy. Somebody who is 15 or 20 also is healthy if he's active. So active child, healthy child, weight is not the constraint. And most important, balanced nutrition. Try to see that he's not exposed to too much of junk food. Okay. And absolutely. And the best thing I can tell parents here is, please understand what you eat, if the child eats. If you are healthy, the child will be healthy. Okay. If you are going to say, I am going to eat healthy food, but my child is going to eat noodle, there's no way you can say that he's going to be healthy. Okay. So common food eating patterns at home are the best way for your children to be healthy, because that's what keeps you healthy.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.